Hello, this is your delivery. Alright, that's enough. Let's get it started. Alright, so since I was 14, 15, I worked in restaurants here in the city of Maastricht. You know, in the weekend or during the week, once or twice a week, I did some dishwashing and I helped the chef of the kitchen to prepare his plates or make some salads or some dame blanche or something, some ice cream. And in this way I stick to working in restaurants and I start enjoying working in restaurants because I love the challenge of orders coming in and making sure the orders get out fast and good so that the customers are happy. If you fast forward about 10 years, I was studying international business and management studies at the university here in this city. Everything happens in the city, by the way. I love the city. And I was doing my bachelor's program and I was not feeling it to study for a master program or afterwards to go work for a consultancy or bank. With all due respect, like, it wasn't the thing for me. Keep in mind, I still skateboarded and I love skateboarding, creating and everything, so it didn't fit in that box for me, like to put on a suit with a bachelor's. What do you do, man? Like, go work at the bank. For example, you walk in the bank and then I have to open a bank account for you. It doesn't really make sense for me to do that and then study therefore. So in the last year of my study, I started this pizzeria. We took over with the family. We took over this pizzeria called Pizzeria Danona. Yeah. This is a non-endorsement, blah, 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 by the way. And this pizzeria wasn't the building I'm sitting in right now. It was approximately like 500 meters away from this place. It wasn't like a neighborhood. It was a neighborhood pizzeria, small thing where we started. And it was kind of crazy how it all started. So in the last couple years of my international business and management studies, I started working at this Italian restaurant, and the owner of that restaurant really learned me nearly everything I know today. It's crazy. Everything about pasta, pizza, running the kitchen, business. I was helping him out with some paperwork sometimes. Like, I learned a lot from that. I owe him for that. Like, it's crazy. We're still friends. I still, now and then, I drink a coffee. His son is a friend of mine, and he's also from the city. And so when we started the pizzeria, that was nearly 7 years ago now, 6.5 years ago. We didn't have a dough machine, like a mixing machine. We didn't know how to make dough, and we had to start the pizzeria. So imagine, tomorrow we have to open the pizzeria and everybody knows it's a big opening and we're still struggling with making dough. How the heck do you make the dough? How to make the dough, man? It's a fugazi. But like, you start doing. It's a trial and error thing. This is a thing also from skateboarding. You fall, you stand up, you fall, you stand up, and then if you do it 1,000 times, it works out. So we started mixing it by hand because there was no money at that point. We invested everything we had in that pizzeria to start up, to take over, whatever, and we started mixing the dough by hand just for fun. Mix like 15 kilos of dough by hand once in your life, and you're going to understand how crazy that is. That's insane. And it's delivery dough, so it's way harder than, for example, Napolitan pizza dough, which is super soft because there's a lot of water in it, blah 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 blah. So it was so time consuming and so energy demanding. It was crazy. I asked the former restaurant I worked for if I could mix the dough at their restaurant. So the city of Maastricht has an east and a west side. Let me put it that way, east and a west side. And there is a river between east and west. Their restaurant was on the east side. Let me say over the bridge, over the river. So I had to go make dough in their basement because that's where the dough machine was, the mixing machine. And the yeasting process, you just have a certain amount of time. When the yeasting process is done, you have to start cutting the dough, making a ball out of it, and then put it in the fridge because it can't hit certain temperature. Imagine making the dough. I'm there by car, by the way. Driving over the bridge, I come at the restaurant. Hello, thank you very much for making the dough. I'm making the dough in the basement, blah, blah, blah. I take the dough back in the car. At this point, there could be traffic on the bridge. There could be 1,000 things for me to get stuck on the bridge, and the yeasting process would accelerate due to the temperature increase, blah, 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 blah. And then you could start all over again. So it was always a stress. This took a couple of days until we realized somehow we have to get the dough machine because it's crazy. It doesn't make sense to do it that way. So that was the first couple of days. Maybe you thought that was it already. That was the hustle. But then there is mixing tiramisu by hand. Like that takes 40 minutes. We didn't go to cooking school or something. That's also crazy. And delivering by car doesn't make sense. I still don't understand how people deliver by car their food, like in small cities like Maastricht or wherever. You can better take the bike or scooter or walk or run or take a skateboard than you can take a car, in my opinion. So we were delivering by car and literally sometimes running, literally sometimes on the skateboard, on the bike. It was crazy until we got the pizzeria going, and then we had some money to invest in 1 scooter, 2 scooters, to arrive at this point that we have 6 scooters, 2 bikes, it's all electric, by the way, blah, blah, blah. But back in the days it was running. That was like the electric bike. Skateboarding, that was like the electric scooter. That all hustle made the pizzeria have a strong fundament. Like it was really strong because we really put in the time, effort, like really blood, sweat, like hours. It was crazy. We didn't make money maybe for we earned nearly nothing for the first year for sure, but then first 2 years it was like we were living out of nothing, making 100 hours a week easily. Even in the beginning, my brother was working full-time somewhere else and also doing the pizzeria. It's interesting. Another crazy one is sometimes I would put the pizza in the oven, close the door of the business, take the delivery bag, cycle, run, take the car, whatever, deliver, come back in time, open the door of the pizzeria, and then turn the pizza, take the pizza out before it burns. This is retarded, thinking back, in hindsight, this is retarded. Alright, fast forwarding 2 years from that point, we got nominated by the national intermediary for food delivery restaurants, where people go and actually something like Uber Eats or something. They nominate us as the best delivery Italian of the Netherlands in 2014-15 of the Netherlands. We were alright, this message is fake because we got a phone call hey guys, this is thuisbezorgd.nl, that's the name of the website, and we nominate you, you have been chosen as the best delivery Italian of the Netherlands. We were we were working and we were yeah, sure man, whatever, this doesn't make sense. Send us an email please, just to double check and make sure that this is not a prank call or whatever. So I went to the computer, I checked it, and I saw the email, and I was like, okay, this stuff is real. They wanted an interview. They came and gave at the interview, they came and gave a trophy that we have. And after that point, the pizzeria, like, yeah, it peaked actually. When we put the message on social media, the pizzeria peaked. And after 2.5 years of being at the first location, my brother and I, we decided that it's time to move ahead, to go to the next step. And we moved to this building here, in which we are for 4 years right now. And it was a really good move. People can eat inside now. In the last restaurant, people couldn't eat inside. It was not allowed. You couldn't get a permit or whatever. Now we have like 20 places inside. After all that hustling and struggling, we now work with a team of like 8 to 12 people a day, and it's crazy to think about coming where we come from with the pizzeria to this moment, working with a couple of chefs, working with so many delivery guys. I guess the moral of the story is, if you just keep grinding and keep fighting and keep pushing towards whatever goal you have, it's definitely possible. Almost nothing is impossible. Actually, nothing is impossible, I think. Never let anyone stop you from achieving your goals. People saying, stop this, don't do that. You know how many people told us we can't do this, it doesn't make sense, man, this stuff, blah, blah, blah. What do you know about pizzeria, blah, blah, this and that. Like, I'm the same guy as you are. Like, I'm not that special, we are not that special. Like, just do it. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do shit, man.